everybody on YouTube. This is David for the Wicca channel. It's been raining on and off for several days, so we're going to let the ground dry up, and then we're heading out into the woods and pathways of the mountain that I live on to look for herbs and showing you what they look like, how to gather them, the magical uses and medicinal uses of these herbs. I do have something I do want to point out. This is for a response to a message that I got entitled Help. It's from someone who is an early teen, I think. I'm sorry I didn't look at your profile, but from the way you were saying it, you're an early teen. Of course, you can't work yet, but you want to do a self-dedication ritual to become part of the Wiccan faith, of the Wicca religion. And of course, this is very important for anyone. But for anyone out there who knows, and we're going to go ahead and get into supplies for you too in this 5-minute video, and we're going to tell you where you can find these things very cheaply. First and foremost, I'm sure your mom and dad or grandma and grandpa or next door neighbor is going to have olive oil in their house. It's great for cooking garlic bread, a lot of other uses. You can even use an oil lamp. In my last video, as I told you about, you can use this as anointing oil. It's very universal, and you can use it even in candle magic to program your candles per se. You can also use it in several other rituals as well as a substitute. As far as salt goes, if you can't scrounge up 30 cents from under your couch or from your mama's car or your dad's truck, or find it or borrow it from a friend, or if you don't get an allowance, go to a restaurant. You can get their salt from the salt shakers there. You can get it in salt packets if you prefer to not, heisting a salt shaker. You can go in there to where the condiments are and you can get the salt from there. I mean, we can be very resourceful as pagans, I can tell you that. Coming up in just a second, I want to show you where you can find some of the tools that you'll be needing in order to practice your faith. And of course, when you first begin out, it's going to be somewhat expensive if you go to the store and get it. But if you go to thrift stores, Goodwill, Salvation Army, and shop there, yes, I know you're giving to a Christian organization, but it's there. It's very, very cheap, and the limitations are endless. So let's go over with a few things that I got from the thrift store just today. Everybody knows this is where my spoon and my fork used to be. I've got this, and inside of it, let's see if I can do this. You can see I do have my candles in there. I have candles on this side. I have candles on that side. They fit perfectly. This is a spice rack. I paid $1 for the spice rack. It does hold my athame in it, and it does hold some of my jewelry that I made myself. And that was $1. Mostly everything that you see here has in fact come from the thrift store. Just about everything, including my sewing machine. But this was a find I found today. This is a silver chalice, symbol of fertility of the goddess, the moon. The metal is silver, of course, and I paid $1.50 for this chalice, and I got this today. A couple of these other things I actually got at the yard sale from the day previous. Okay, so we have various container jars, 50 cents. This was $0.25. This holds my olive oil. 25 cents. And this contains some of the things that I do use. And a thrift store is a really, really good place to find things that you need. See, you can even go to a thrift store and take old spice bottles that contain other things to contain your herbs that you need, such as this one being garlic powder here. So this one is sage tea that I got all these bottles from the thrift store. You can even go as far as if you can't afford that and you come across other jars such as this. This was like dill pickle jar. This contains cloves. I mean, you can put that in there and it still keeps it fresh. And if you can in time save up, I mean, just spare change itself. This contains my yellow root. I mean, this right here was only like $1.50. So I mean, you're talking, this is really inexpensive right here. But I know as a young teen that you're not old enough to work and you can't afford these things. But if you can dig up spare change and get it that way, that's one way you can do it. Or you can cut grass and take the money from that and be able to get some of the things that you get. And when you do get older and you are legally of age to work, then you can move up to the bigger things. Basically, we can take a look around my whole house and see exactly everything I bought from the thrift store. My favorite recliner, $10. I got the sofa, I got the coffee table, I got the end table sitting over there, I got that chair, I paid $80. Card catalog that contains our movies. Well, maybe I haven't got it filled up yet, but that contains our DVDs. This right here was $35. Painting on the wall, that was $3. The clock that I have not figured out if I can fix yet, that cost me $1. The one next to it, I made. Girl with broom, I bought that at a yard sale. Organ, clocks, all of the stuff came from yard sales. Antique radio, not so antique clock, electric lamp, all came from thrift stores. And then we can take a look at the stuff that you can make yourself in Wicca and for the practice of traditional witchcraft and other various forms of paganism and witchcraft itself. And these things are absolutely free. You can make these simply by what you see in nature. My broom, I made it from nature. It was free. My staff, I made it from nature. It was free. My pinnacle above my altar, it was made from nature. It was free. The flowers themselves were thrown out and cast aside. I collected them, and now I have them, and now they decorate my house. They were free. Pinnacles hanging in every window of my house. I made them from sticks and twine from out in nature. They were absolutely free. Here we go, going into my little magical cabinet. Getting all silver raven wolf on you. Okay, this right here, this stone, I polished it myself. We see here the copper wire twisted around it and the chain. I made this from tossed away household electrical wiring. Solid copper. It was free. If you need to infuse anything and do not prefer to use a microwave or stove, you can get a coffee pot just like this. It heats up very quickly. It can get the nutrients from your herbs without killing them. This thing was actually 25 cents. The toaster was $3. Basically, us pagans are very resourceful. We can find and use and make just about anything that we have to. All we have to do is apply a little bit of knowledge and common sense and maybe research on the internet to see how it's done. If you want to learn how to make a broom, I have videos up that show you how to do this. If you want to make a robe, such as this one, which is solid crushed velvet black, this actually used to be a woman's blouse. So basically, everything you see can be cheap or basically free. Even the best things in life are actually free to get. Free. Very expensive to maintain, but free.